Welcome to Deep World Updates. Please subscribe the channel and press the bell icon for more updates. What if the South China Sea becomes ground zero for the next big war? Tensions between China and the Philippines are rising, and the world is watching. Chinese Coast Guard vessels use water cannons, Philippine supply boats are blocked, and fishermen are harassed in their own waters. This isn't just a territorial squabble, it's about the future of the Indo-Pacific, the rule of law, and freedom of navigation for trillions in global trade. The narrative of a small nation facing a giant is incomplete. It ignores the web of alliances and shared interests that bind nations together. An attack on the Philippines would trigger a global response, echoing from Washington to Tokyo, Canberra to London. Powerful nations have made it clear, the Philippines will not stand alone if attacked. Today, we break down how the world would respond. The United States is the Philippines' most important ally, bound by the 1951 Mutual Defense Treaty. Article 4 is clear. An armed attack on either party in the Pacific compels both to act. Recent U.S. leaders have erased any ambiguity. An attack on Philippine forces in the South China Sea will trigger U.S. defense commitments. This is a strategic imperative for Washington, which sees Chinese expansion as a direct challenge to global order. The U.S. demonstrates its commitment through massive joint exercises like Balikatan and by pre-positioning military assets in the Philippines under EDCA. The U.S. 7th Fleet, based in Japan, patrols the region with aircraft carriers, destroyers, and submarines, while satellites provide unmatched surveillance. Intelligence is shared with the Philippines, giving them a critical edge. If conflict erupts, the U.S. response would be rapid intelligence support, military aid, naval blockades, and, if necessary, direct intervention. The U.S. has invested too much in Indo-Pacific stability to let a key ally fall. The message from Washington: don't test us. The U.S. is ready, not just to defend the Philippines, but to uphold the rules-based order. Any attack would be met with overwhelming force. The stakes couldn't be higher. Japan has transformed from a pacifist nation to a robust strategic player. Facing an assertive China, Japan has reinterpreted its constitution, boosting its defense budget and acquiring long-range missiles. Japan's navy is among the world's most advanced, with Izumo-class carriers, new destroyers, and cutting-edge cyber and space capabilities. Cooperation with the Philippines is deepening. Japan has transferred patrol vessels, surveillance aircraft, and conducts regular joint exercises. Talks for a reciprocal access agreement could soon allow Japanese forces in the Philippines. In a conflict, Japan would provide logistics, intelligence, and naval support, using Okinawa as a staging point. Its new counter-strike capabilities add a powerful deterrent. Japan's own disputes with China make its interest direct and urgent. What happens in the South China Sea directly affects Japan's security. Japan stands ready to defend the rules-based order alongside its allies. Australia is a vital anchor for Indo-Pacific security, seeing Southeast Asia's stability as fundamental to its own. As a member of Five Eyes and AUKUS, Australia has access to top-tier intelligence and is acquiring nuclear-powered submarines. Its military is small but advanced, interoperable with U.S. forces and ready for coalition operations. Australia and the Philippines conduct joint patrols and exercises, signaling real commitment. In a conflict, Australia would be a first responder, providing surveillance, naval protection, and intelligence coordination. Its P-8A Poseidon aircraft and Hobart-class destroyers would be invaluable. Australia's security is tied to the regions and is prepared to defend it. The message: Australia stands with the Philippines. India, sharing a tense border with China, sees Chinese expansion as a direct threat. Its Act East policy is a strategic pivot, and India is building a blue water navy with new carriers and submarines. India opposes China's 9-dash line and supports international law, backing the Philippines' 2016 arbitral win. The defense relationship is growing. India sold BrahMos missiles to the Philippines, boosting deterrence. Joint training and intelligence sharing are increasing. In conflict, India could open a second front, increase naval presence, and provide intelligence, forcing China to divide its focus. As a Quad member, India is a key part of the coalition. An attack on the Philippines would not go unanswered by New Delhi. Vietnam knows China's tactics firsthand, facing similar harassment in the South China Sea. Its military is large, experienced, and focused on coastal defense and asymmetric warfare. Vietnam has modern submarines, missile systems, and a fortified coastline. Cooperation with the Philippines is growing. Joint patrols, intelligence sharing, and diplomatic coordination are routine. In conflict, Vietnam would provide real-time intelligence and operational support. Its submarines could threaten Chinese forces, forcing China to watch its southern flank. Vietnam's readiness alone would complicate China's plans. This partnership is born of necessity and shared interest. Vietnam's role would be critical in any regional conflict. The UK's Global Britain strategy has brought it back to the Indo-Pacific. The deployment of the HMS Queen Elizabeth carrier group and permanent patrol vessels in the region signals commitment. The Royal Navy and GCHQ provide advanced naval and intelligence capabilities. The UK is strengthening ties with the Philippines and is a strong voice for international law at the UN. In conflict, the UK could deploy ships, submarines, and world-class cyber capabilities to disrupt Chinese operations. Its diplomatic clout would rally global condemnation and impose costs on Beijing. The UK's presence ensures this is a global issue, not just a regional one. Britain stands ready to defend the rules-based order. The UK would be a powerful and capable partner. France is an Indo-Pacific nation, with territories and citizens in the region. The French Navy regularly conducts freedom of navigation operations in the South China Sea, challenging excessive claims. France's military is full spectrum, with a nuclear deterrent, carrier, and advanced intelligence. Defense ties with the Philippines are growing, with joint exercises and technology sharing. France's role would be both diplomatic and military, using its UN seat and deploying assets to show solidarity. France ensures this is a global issue, not just a US-China standoff. Paris stands for a rules-based maritime order. South Korea, a technological powerhouse, is expanding its focus beyond the Korean peninsula. Its alliance with the US and advanced military make it a formidable force. The ROK Navy is becoming a blue-water navy, and its defense industry is world-class. South Korea participates in multinational exercises and increases defense exports to Southeast Asia. In conflict, South Korea would provide rear area support, open ports and air bases, and help secure northern sea lanes. Its intelligence and surveillance would boost coalition awareness. While cautious publicly, South Korea's actions show commitment to regional security. Seoul's support would be vital in any coalition response. Canada, a G7 and Five Eyes member, is a diplomatic heavyweight in the Pacific. Its Indo-Pacific strategy increases naval presence and resources in the region. Canadian frigates and patrol aircraft regularly operate in the South China Sea, signaling solidarity. Canada's intelligence agency plays a key role in coalition surveillance and cyber defense. Diplomatically, Canada builds coalitions and supports peaceful resolution based on international law. In conflict, Canada would provide surveillance, intelligence, and humanitarian support. Its diplomatic efforts would help maintain coalition unity. Indonesia, Southeast Asia's giant, is the region's keystone. With its own disputes with China, Indonesia's security perspective aligns with the Philippines. Its military is large and modernizing, and its geography controls critical sea lanes. Indonesia's ability to monitor and control choke points gives it strategic leverage. Defense ties with the Philippines are growing, with joint patrols and intelligence sharing. In conflict, Indonesia would secure its territory and sea lanes, possibly closing straits to Chinese naval traffic. By protecting its sovereignty, Indonesia would create a major distraction for China. Indonesia's quiet strength makes it a powerful, if indirect, ally. The idea of a lone Philippines against China is a myth. An attack would be an assault on the international system, not just one nation. The coalition of democracies and maritime powers would act out of vital national interest. The Philippines would be backed by overwhelming economic, diplomatic, and military power. The goal is deterrence, not war. The cost of conflict would be catastrophic for any aggressor. The web of alliances ensures the world will not stand idly by. If war comes, the Philippines will not stand alone.